Good evening. How's everybody doing?
Good.
Cheer for Jordan again. Good job. Music with a message. Did you listen to it? Did you get it? It's about liberty. That's why I'm here. That's why I'm running. And Jordan wanted me to speak to you about why I'm running, what's involved in running, why I'm doing it, why I chose to put my name and myself out there. And I'm going to try to cover that as briefly as I can. And like Jordan said earlier, we're going to do a Q&A later, and you can ask any specific questions you'd like. I am not a lawyer. I am not a professional politician. In fact, I have not spent my adult life grooming myself to be a politician. I came to a point a couple of years ago when a couple of votes took place in Congress that didn't make me very happy. I decided something needed to be done. Now, I've always been politically involved in the sense that I write letters to my congressmen, my state representatives, I make phone calls. I've even been to the state capitol a few times to speak to subcommittee hearings on topics of importance to me. But I've never considered the idea of running for office, especially at the federal level. And it occurred to me, you know, I've spent the better part of my adult life settling for the lesser of two evils. I've never really been able to vote for someone that I felt positive about. I'm not voting for someone, I was voting against the other guy. And I'm really tired of doing that. I wanted to vote for someone, but that someone hasn't shown up yet. I keep looking for them, and when we look at the two major parties, all I see is the R's arguing with the D's, and the D's think the R's are a bunch of idiots, and they're back and forth, and in the meantime, you and I are left out of the mix. We're ignored. And I wanted to get someone in office who paid attention to the Constitution and doing what was right by the country, as opposed to what was right by their personal agenda or what was right by their party. In order to get involved in this, it helps to have a lot of money, certainly. That's unfortunate that the system has been set up now so that they won't listen to you if you don't have a lot of money. Well, guess what? I don't have a lot of money. But I don't go around asking for money either, because for me, it's more about the message. I want to prove a couple of things with this campaign. I want to prove that, one, it can be done without spending hundreds of thousands of dollars, because that's the way it should be done. And two, that a person can run for office, get elected to office, and then serve in office without selling his soul or compromising his principles. We hear a lot of talk about doing the right thing, but then when people get to Washington, they generally do a turnaround and vote the way they want to, or the way their party wants them to vote. The question then becomes, how do you get involved in this? Running for office is certainly different than just going out and voting. You get registered to vote, you go to the polling place, you cast your vote, you're done. But running for office is a different ballgame. I had to fill out paperwork with the state and the federal government. It's simply a matter of filling out the proper forms, declaration of candidacy, my qualifications for candidacy, in other words, where do I live, am I of age, am I a U.S. citizen, this sort of thing. And then you have to send in a form with your committee on it. Well, right now, I am the committee. I don't have a huge group of people behind me right now. It's very grassroots. I don't have a committee. I don't have any corporate sponsors, and frankly, I'm not looking for any. So it's very much a one-man show right now with a handful of people helping me. One of them, Nathan Cox, down here sitting at the table with us, is a young man, a veteran from the Army. He served in Iraq, and he saw me at a Tea Party rally. We started talking and found we had a lot in common. So he's helping me out now. And it's maybe 7 or 8 other people who are helping me with petitions, getting my name on the ballot, and this sort of thing. Now then, getting the message out, how do you do that? Well, what I've been doing is going door to door, knocking on doors, introducing myself to people. I've got a petition over here for voters in the 7th District. They have to sign it. If I get 1,000 signatures, my name's on the ballot. That's it. That's how you run for office. But it's not just enough to get your name on the ballot. You have to get your message out. Now, how best to do that? Well, with the technology we have available to us today, certainly going on the internet's a big help. Having your own website, doing the social networking thing, Facebook, MySpace, etc. So I've gotten more involved in that, and trust me when I say I'm not as technologically savvy as I'm sure many of you are. So I'm on a really steep learning curve with this stuff. But that's why I need people like Nathan to help me out, so I'm not bashful about asking. And the reason this is important to me, and it should be important to you, is because it's about our future, the future of the country, and the future of our children. But it's about my future too. I mean, I'm not dead yet. I'd like to experience a little bit of that liberty that's my birthright. I'd like for the government to stop taking all my money and throwing it away. I'd like for them to let me make my decisions for myself. And this is why you need to get involved. What can you do? Well, register to vote. That's the first thing you can do. It's not difficult to do. Call the registrar in the county you live in. They'll send you the forms, you fill them out, send them back, boom, you're registered. You get your card in the mail. It's not hard. Be sure you do it at least 3 months ahead of time before the election this year so that you're registered in time to vote. Find a campaign that you support, depending on what district you live in. Now, I live in the 7th district. That encompasses pretty much a big rectangle up the middle of the state, from Richmond and Chesterfield and Henrico up into Page County and Rappahannock County. So it's a pretty big district. It's probably the most contiguous district in the state in that it doesn't do all these twists and turns and curves you see other districts do. But it still cuts counties in half, so it doesn't encompass entire counties. Find a man or woman that's running in your district, someone you believe in, someone you can get behind, and help them. It doesn't have to be money, it can be time. Help them with their website if they need help with one. If you're technologically savvy and you know how to do something like that, volunteer your time. Help them collect petition signatures to get their name on the ballot. Talk to people. Guys, that's what it's all about. That's why I'm here. I'm talking to you, and I'm hoping that you're going to talk to somebody and that they're going to talk to someone else and spread the word in that way. So there are lots of things you can do, and it's not going to cost you a whole lot of money. So don't be afraid to get involved. One of the biggest reasons we're in the mess we're in now is apathy. Too many people just throw their hands up and go, I don't care, it's politics. And you guys are in college, I know you're busy. Believe it or not, I'm in college right now. I'm going to Mary Baldwin College to get a degree in history and political science so I can teach. So I'm taking classes at the same time I'm running for Congress. I'm not putting all my eggs in one basket. But the point is, you have to be involved. You can't be apathetic, because if you are, we're all going to suffer for it. You can't just stay back and say, oh, my vote doesn't count. Well, of course it's not going to matter if you don't get involved. So get out there and find someone you can believe in, find someone you feel comfortable supporting, and ask them, what can I do to help? Okay? Get out there and collect signatures for them. Put up signs for them. Just talk to your friends and neighbors. It's as simple as that. So that's pretty much what got me motivated. I decided something's got to be done. Now, Jordon and I met for the first time recently. He called me up because RetakeCongress.com, which is one of the groups that's supporting my candidacy, put us in touch with each other. And we found out that we agreed on quite a bit. We're a little bit of an age difference here, but you know what? We share a kindred spirit because we both believe in liberty. We both believe the Constitution is the supreme law of this land, and that we've strayed too far from that Constitution, and we need to get back to it. Because if it's adhered to properly, you have the freedom that is your birthright as an American. And that's what I want to see happen in my lifetime. I'm not content to just do it for the future generations. I want to see it happen now, because freedom matters to me as well.